Namaste, lovely subscribers. Today's practice is Restore and Breath, and I would love to invite you into your throat and shoulder space, meaning just a surrender, an exhalation, a reprieve, a letting go. So this practice, what we're going to invite into as props, as far as props go, definitely a blanket for your occipital and your yoga bolster and your 2 blocks. Now, for this particular one, we're going to tap into, and a lot of you that have been practicing with me for quite a while, we do these periodically because there's only so many asanas, but really technically, what does the world really need in this moment? And it's some heart opening, some throat chakra stuff. So this particular one, we're going to open up through the chest safely and effectively using our props. So take your bolster, right between your 2 blocks as wide as your yoga mat and about a hand distance away, and then the blanket's going to be there for your occipital. Today we're going to challenge ourselves to reach arms over in flexion and extension. So just note, if that's not for you today, still you could do this practice. Just be very aware of what the range of motion that you're placing yourself in, because remember, this is about you, not about keeping up with me at all. I give many options. So from here, with the hand distance away from the blocks, long bolster, blanket where the head's going to go, you're going to sit on your bolster, and you can also have your yoga strap handy. Please do, whatever that may look like. Take your feet to your wooden blocks, and you can use the bird's eye view or whatever blocks you have. And then seat your bum, your heels, and then lay yourself down to the point where your shoulder blades are off, and then take the blanket underneath your occipital, and then straighten your legs out so that your heels are still on your blocks as wide as your yoga mat. When I say something really long and deep, wide, your blocks are as wide as your mat. So once you find that, such an uncomfortable maybe for some of you position, but because the bolsters are soft, it is in a sense lifting your heart up, not meant to be so forced, but it may feel like a force if your back is hyperkyphotic, meaning really rounded like that. So that's why a blanket for your head is really essential, because it'll help to make sure that it's not so challenging. So make sure that bolster is right at the center of your heart, so your shoulder blades move off of that bolster. Good. Now from here, whether you have a yoga strap or not, I'm just going to lay it across my hips. Take your arms up into monster Frankenstein position, and then just take a moment to bend your elbows and grab your opposite elbow, forearm, or we call it a Ganesh grip, where you monkeys in the barrel tuck your fingers in amongst each other and create like a lock. So whatever variation of arm grip you have or finger grip, take your arms overhead to your best ability, and make sure if you have a blanket there that your forearms can rest on the blanket. And then we're going to close the eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. If this is too much flexion for your arms, you can release your arms completely out to your side. We are going to practice chest breathing today, literally bringing the full awareness of your rib cage. So your lungs go from your collarbone to the false ribs this big. That's how big your lungs are. So we want to be very aware of all of this apparatus being breathed into in the fullness of your lungs. So no matter what position your arms are in, I invite you, close your eyes, make sure you wiggle around so that your sacrum and your middle back and your lower back are supported by a bolster, and your ankles are relaxed. Your legs will externally rotate organically, let them be that way. We are in a restorative pose. Let us now focus on the belly breathing. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs completely until you feel the rib cage expand. Hold and retain. And when you're ready to exhale that breath, use the muscles of your belly to expel that breath out. You can make audible sounds through the mouth. You can be silent and ujjayi out through the nose. It's up to you. But be very aware of your breath. This is all about your breath. Yet. I don't mean to say but. Yet. Be aware of your breath. So keep it going. Focus on your breath. Don't worry about time. Relax your mind, relax your body in this shape to your best ability. The reason why we're doing this, we're opening our heart chakra, we're opening our throat chakra, we're exercising our ability to open ourselves up. The physicalities, the physical being. So breathe that breath. If your legs are cranky in this position, you can always bend your knees as wide as your yoga mat and let your knees fall in of each other. And you're still doing the same pose with everybody. It's just a modified position for your lower back. You decide what you need to do. Keep your focus on your breath, the fullness of your lungs, of your ribs. Your arm position is in that position that is most optimal for you to be, to feel what you're feeling. Keep your minds focused on your breath. When you in-breath, fill your lungs completely and pause with the fullness of your breath. And when you exhale, exhale completely using your abdominals to the point where you have completely devoided all the breath. Pause and then in-breath. So make it a real meditation of awareness, of being present in your breath and the shape. Meet your needs. Meet your needs. Don't worry about time. I'm inviting you to relax. The more you can soften into this position, the more reward, the fruits, the reprieve you'll feel. Soften. If there's distractions such as sounds that carry you from your intention of following your breath, then just immediately say, okay, I'm going to follow my breath. Come back to your breath. Come back to the surrendering pose, the shape, the position you're in, and feel the breath within it. Use the diaphragm, use the belly muscles. Allow your chest to soften open. Allow your throat chakra to be an expression of your breath. That's all that's required. You are it. Stay with your breath. Breathing that breath in and out. Allowing your body to soften, to recharge, to receive the benefits of your surrender. If you get lost in chatter, go to the mind's eye, the place between your eyebrows,
and visualize the breath moving in and out of your body. Be cognizant of your breath. Be aware of your breath. If you need to change your arm shape, please change your arm shape. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. Actually, everyone bend your knees, feet as wide as your mat, and let your knees fall in of each other so the inner edges support the knees falling towards each other. They may or may not touch. Breathe that breath, noticing what you notice. Mm-hmm. 5 more breaths with your knees bent, feet as wide as your mat, knees falling in towards each other for 4. For 3. 2. Good. And then just very mindfully, drip your knees open. Be mindful of your breath still. And this time we're going to press into the 4 points of both feet. Lift your bum up just enough. Hold that bolster that's underneath your backside. Turn it to one side. And then keep on turning it until you can find both ends of it and slide it underneath your sacrum. Not your lower back, but your butt valley, your butt flesh. Heel toe your feet so that they're together or at least hip distance apart. And then from there, open up your arms into cactus pose. Just like that. So your elbows are below your shoulders. So it's a restorative cactus. Now here, if you feel that your legs are just, it's too much having them bent, that you would rather heel toe your feet wider apart, let them fall in of each other, that's awesome. Some of you may prefer to lengthen your legs out. That creates a full extension of your pelvis. If that feels good for you, please do. But if not, be as you wish, and knees can be bent. Okay? They could be simply in a bridge position. This is a restorative bridge, and or whatever feels good to you. We'll finalize this restore and breath position or practice with a supported bridge pose. Okay, so just closing your eyes here. Your head could still be on your blanket. Your arms are in a mild cactus. Coming back to the breath. In and out. You can make it audible. You can make it silent. And then I'm going to invite us all just to start to draw the knees towards the chest. So your bottom's still on your bolster. And just start to rock from gluteal flesh to gluteal flesh. And then we'll practice this with a breath. Closing your eyes once again, your arms are in a mild cactus, just out at the side. As you exhale, the knees just draw to one side, and you inhale your knees to center, and your knees exhale to the other side. So just let it be a very slow windshield wipe. It's very slow. So we're incorporating the root chakra into our heart and throat chakra. So the hips are still higher, slightly higher than the heart and the throat. So it's still technically an inversion. Just kindly windshield wipe. You can even turn your face in opposite direction of your knees in the fullness of that breath. Knees and face come to center. Exhale, knees and face in opposite direction. Be mindful that this is restorative, that this is not meant to be a push or a shove ever. Just nice and easy. Couple more rounds to each side in your leisure, in your just really simple, loving, kind way. And then eventually letting your feet land back onto the mat. But this time you're going to take your hands back to the bolster, press into your feet, lift your hips up enough to slide your bolster towards your knee creases to your ankles. Then reassess your knee creases and your bolster together. Spread your legs, move your blocks out of the way. And then ending this restorative breath practice in a Shavasana. Make sure nothing's touching your feet except for your heels on the mat. One hand towards your heart, one hand towards your belly. You could still have your occipital resting on the blanket. Close your eyes or drishti. And let us be very cognizant of the relaxed elbows on the floor, heads relaxed, glutes are relaxed, heels are relaxed, knees are relaxed. And breathe into your belly and heart space. Soften in all parts of your anatomy, and to your best ability, just let those elbows be relaxed, your arms are relaxed, and you're just feeling the connection of your breath to the belly and the heart center. Like a wave of breath. Cognizance of your connection to source. Prana, the breath that rides in and out of your being, is that your vital force. And no matter what external distractions there may be, sounds or whatever they may be, come back to your breath. Soften. And with such gratitude, appreciate your being and your breath and your anatomy. Appreciate yourself. Be with yourself. Be loving of yourself. And then eventually just let your arms completely unfold away from your body in a starfish, in a Shavasana, and just be. Beautiful. Start to just mindfully rotate your ankles and even move your head, your neck, if that feels comfortable. And you can rotate your wrists as well. And keeping in mind gratitude for your whole vessel, for your whole being, from your fingers and your toes, wrists, ankles, into your elbows, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, all the way into the very center of your being. When we stop and slow down with such gratitude, that's when we become more aware of, I am the gift. Start to bend your knees. Feet can rest on the bolster. Readjust your sacrum. And then even draw your knees closer to your chest, as I like to do often, and rock from hip to hip. Just a nice simple twist. Eventually rolling to a side, using your arm as a pillow and gathering your knees up into your chest with the other arm. We're going to be here for a good minute, so just allow yourself to rest, to breathe your breath, to let that breath just move with fluidity in and out. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And just noticing the subtleties of energies and sounds and frequencies and vibrations all around you. And it is you that is connecting. You are the leader, the creator, and the decider of your own connections and frequencies. So just remember that you're in charge. When you're ready to root that top arm and extend that top leg, to press yourself up mindfully to drip yourself into a seat, opposing your gravity, the gravity of life. Reassess yourself onto your bolster if that feels mindfully wonderful for you, and sit in your cross-legged seated position. Make sure you sit in a cross leg that's not habitual. We tend to sit in the same leg out in front, so whenever we come to the practice, offer it up differently. Be mindful of that. And then let's open up our arms and just yawn our jaw and move our neck with such gratitude. And then wave your arms up towards the sky in that full flexion of the arms. And then exhale your hands into your heart center. We'll do that a couple more times, just swimming our arms, inhaling upward, exhaling into the heart center. Inhaling upwards, exhaling into the heart center with such gratitude. A couple more times, just noticing that you're saying yes to the universe and you're taking that universal energy all the way into your heart center. Om Namah Shivaya, Yeah, there you go. Next one, on your exhalation, keep your hands at your heart center with such gratitude and appreciation for coming to the mat and practicing. I appreciate you. I appreciate you wanting to grow, to ascend, and to practice for the greater good of your being. The brighter you are, the more loving you are of yourself to yourself, the greater this universe is. Self-love, self-care is all that's required. Let us end with a nice little Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. From my light to your light. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I am here for you.